Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session on how to prepare your syllabus for the new term. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the process step by step, and together we will understand how to complete our syllabus successfully. So let's start by getting the syllabus template from the class. I'm already in my class for the upcoming term. So the first step then would be to download the syllabus template. Remember that you always want to make sure that you download a fresh template each term from your class to ensure that you capture any changes that may have been made to the class. So you want to make sure you're not reusing a syllabus that you use from previous terms in the event that there have been changes to the class. So my syllabus is open, and we're going to go through each step on how to prepare that syllabus. So let me just expand this a little bit so I'm sure so you can see it a lot better. You'll see that you would want to make sure that the comments are deleted. So before you delete them though, just make sure you read them to make sure you're getting everything. And the instructions here then is to please make sure you delete the comments or the directions, and it tells you how to. So I'll delete that first comment. And the second instruction is what I would have told you previously, that you are not to reuse the syllabi from a previous terms. Start with a clean template each time. The course may have changed from previous terms. So let's delete that comment. We've read it. Our first step then would be to enter our name. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my name. I was about to misspell my name. You enter your telephone number. And you want to make sure you enter your Herzing email address. Please make sure that you're not using external email addresses. So my faculty information is complete. My name, my telephone number, and my Herzing email address. Remember, no external emails. I want to make sure I enter my office hours clearly. So I am going to enter them here. I normally have, because I'm full-time, I normally tend to do my office hours every day. But that's up to you. You don't need to do that. You just need to follow the instructions for office hours, for the office hours. I'm fixing my line spacing because there is so much space between that. So I just want to make sure it closes the gap so my syllabus wouldn't be so expanded. And I normally have all day office hours, again, because I am normally work most of the day. So that's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that's Central Time. I want to make sure that I have a live session for my students, and here is where we'll make that change. Let's say 5 p.m. Central Time to 6 p.m. and your live session should be for about 1 hour. You can have it longer, of course, if you choose to. But just make sure you identify for your students that this is your live session. So I'm going to put Ask Denise. And just so they know what Ask Denise is, I put Ask Denise live session. I want students to know when I'm off. So I'm going to include my day off, so which is always Saturday. So I'm going to put off here. And Sundays, for those students who work during the day, I give them an option, but I would tell them rather than having hours, by appointment. So you see, my office hours table is complete. Remember to always enter your live session and have that clearly distinguished on your office hours table. Office hours is in Central Standard Time. So now I move to the other part of the syllabus, the third table. You will see that the comment here is delete one that does not apply to this course. We are 100% online, so of course we are going to delete on ground campus. and that comment goes. Now the next section, which is often confusing and we've had some mixed messages here, is this section asks for class location. So you want to make sure that you read the comment. It says leave blank. Online, leave blank. So we're going to leave that line blank. That is only for a ground campus where there's a room number or class location, and for ground campuses, but we are online. So we'll leave it blank and we're gonna delete that comment. You see I'm deleting my comments as I go ahead because I want to make sure that when I upload my syllabus to the classroom that I didn't accidentally or I didn't forget to delete any comments. Here, we enter the semester date. Now, you want to be sure which semester you're in. Go to your classroom. You'll see at the side it says 2018. You see where my cursor is moving. It's 2018 Spring Term B. So we'll start there. 2018 Spring Term B. We also want to make sure we enter the date for the semester or for the term. So you're going to get that date from the academic calendar. And here is my academic calendar. You will see, let's go to 2018. You'll see we go by an 8-week period. So you'll choose that. And that's March 5th for this upcoming term to April 25th. And that's the date you will enter here on your syllabus. March 5th to April 25th. Now, there is always some confusion when it comes to entering the date here of whether you enter that Tuesday date, which would be the 24th in this instance, or you enter the 25th. Just remember that the semester dates that you enter here would be the date that will be on the academic calendar. And let's say you don't know where to find your academic calendar. You're in your classroom. You go to the resource center. You scroll down a bit and you'll see it here. You click on that link that says Academic Calendar Online Campus, and you will find the academic calendar with the dates for the rest of the year. So we've captured that. It should be the actual semester end date in this section. So 2018 Spring Term B, March 5 to April 25th. Everything else on this page is standard. There is no need to make any change here. And everything else we're seeing is standard. Now we're at the point now where we see optional textbook. If there is no optional textbook, go ahead and type none in this section. Then additional learning resources. There are some classes where you will see on your syllabus that there are additional learning resources, then you leave those. But if there are none, then you go ahead and type the word none as you would have for the optional textbook. Now we come to the learning activities table. There's some classes that may have a syllabus with 2 tables. We want to make sure that we delete one of those. You're not using both of them. So you're going to delete one and you're going to keep this current table. This is the most recent table. So we want to enter our unit dates, but let's look at the instructions first, even before we start to complete the dates on the table. We're saying that the table can be used for both ground and online faculty. So online faculty, you don't have to use that longer table. You delete that longer table and you're going to use this shortened version of that table. That is what this first comment is saying. So we've read that, we've deleted that comment. Now you see, as it relates to points, now this second comment deals with points. On-ground faculty can change the points on their syllabus, but on-ground faculty, you're not supposed to change your points. So you've read that, you've deleted that comment, you're not making any changes to the points. You come to this third column here. It says all faculty, whether on ground or online, must add the dates. So we know we have to add the dates, we've read that. We are not making any changes to the value of the learning objectives. No changes, we delete that. Basically, when it comes to this table, online faculty, we do not make any changes. All we are doing with this table is adding dates and actually formatting the table so we make sure it runs smoothly so that the dates aligned with the assignments. So we cannot delete any discussion questions online faculty, so we delete that comment. The assignments are already mapped online campus. You do not change that mapping. We delete that. You must add your weekly dates, which is this column here where you're seeing my cursor. We got that. We can go ahead and delete that comment. And we delete this. This has to do with mapping again. So let's go ahead then and start to enter the semester dates. Remember, the semester runs, the week runs Monday through Sunday. So we are going to start by entering the first date of the class, which is March 5th. I want to make sure that when I enter my dates, so we go March 5th, 18, and we know that the semester ends on a Sunday, so that will be until the 11th. Well, we want to make sure this lines up and looks pretty nice and clean. So let's expand that column a little bit. And you expand the column by placing your cursor over the column where you see a double arrow right here, and you just drag it in the position that you want to expand it. Now you're looking at this column and you see that the E is falling off of objective, and we won't want that to happen. So let's expand this column a little bit, but we want to make sure that it looks nicely. So we're gonna adjust it quite a bit so that when you enter the dates for the due dates for your assignments, that they fit nicely as well, much like they did on the other column. So we want to remember when you're doing the dates for the discussion, you need to enter the initial discussion date. And in this case, the week starts March 5th. So that initial date will be March 7th. Remember, that's by the Wednesday of each week. We want to make sure the students understand when the peer response is due. And that will be by the Sunday, which will be March 11th. Now, a student seeing this may think, now where on earth do these dates apply? So just make sure it aligns a little so that they can adequately align the dates to the assignments. But you want to make sure the points also align. So just go ahead and do that. And we can see that clearly that the discussion responses were 30 points, and these are the dates. This is the date for the assignment. So just drop that a bit. And you want to include your date this assignment is due as well. So we're going to include that there. And that is the 11th. And we're going to repeat that throughout. But let's go ahead and fill those unit dates so that for each week, so that we know what we're working with. So I'm just going to copy and paste to make life a little easier. Remember, we start on the Monday. So we ended on the 11th, the week prior. So this first date will be the 12th. And the Sunday would be the 18th. For unit 3, I do the same thing. This would be the 19th, and the Sunday would be the 25th. Let's make sure we have that there are no errors on our syllabus, so we make sure that's corrected. Then week 4, we start the Monday on the 26th, and the Sunday would be April 4, April Fool's Day. The next week, the unit 5, that would be April 2nd. And the Sunday would be the 8th. And I'm just copying and pasting to make sure it looks nicely. We start here on the 9th. The next date would be the 15th. We close on the 15th. And we are continuing this process throughout. Unit 7 starts on the 16th of April and will end on the 22nd of April. Now we're at Unit 8, which is a little different. Unit 8 will start on the 23rd of April. Now remember now that we said the term ends on the 25th. But we want to end Unit 8 a day early because all grades must be submitted by the Wednesday, which is the 25th. So you want to end the unit on the 24th. Again, here lies the confusion. The term dates and the unit 8 date will be different. At the beginning of the syllabus, you would have noticed, I'll scroll back again, that the term date here will be the 25th, which is the actual date the term ends. When you get to Unit 8 of the Learning Activities table, that end of unit will be the 24th, which will be the Tuesday. So that's the difference. It will not be the 25th. So just bear that in mind as you're preparing your syllabus. So we have those dates captured. Now we want to make sure that we enter the possible due dates for each learning activity. So again, I love copying and pasting to make life a little easier. Our discussion response, we're going to make sure it aligns so that the date aligns with it. And I'm going to do that throughout this table. So that week started on the 12th. So we know that the initial discussion, I am pulling my calendar up. We know that the initial discussion is due on the 14th, which is the Wednesday. So we change that to the 14th. The response to peer is due on the 18th, as well as the assignment, which is the last day of the week. We do the same thing here for Unit 3. Unit 3 has 2 assignments you would notice here for this class. I want to drop my assignment so that the discussion dates stand out. But I'm also going to make sure the points realign. So when you're dropping, just make sure the points realign. The week started on the 19th, so the initial discussion will be due on the 21st. And the responses to peers by the 25th. The assignment, of course, is always due on the Sunday of each week, which is the 25th. And we are going to do that for both assignments. And we get to Unit 4, we repeat the same process, and we're going to do that throughout, and we can do it here. So we can walk ourselves through the process, and you will actually have the dates. You wouldn't have to worry about it for this particular semester. Again, I want to make sure that the points and the dates align. We want to make sure syllabus is error-free, so here I'm correcting an error that I'm seeing here. And let's drop that for the initial. Oops, I deleted it by mistake, so let's go and use the undo button here. And we drop that a bit. We know that week starts on the 26th. So the initial response will be due on the 28th. Your responses to peers will be due on the 1st of April. And the assignment again is due on the 1st of April. And you make sure you enter the date for each assignment. I'm at Unit 5, and I'm going to do the same thing. I drop my points. I drop my dates, and I drop my assignments again, just to make sure the points and the dates align. There's only one assignment to do this week. That week starts on April 2nd, so the initial response is due on April 4, response to peers due on April 8th, and the assignment is also due on April 8th. Now, I'm in the month of April, so I'm going to do a little copying and pasting here just so I wouldn't have to keep retyping April. We're at Unit 6. We do the same thing. Let's drop that discussion, drop the point so it aligns, drop the date so that aligns as well. There is an assignment, so let's go ahead and drop that and drop the points to that assignment. Actually, that final project. That opens on the 9th of April. So the initial response will be due on the 11th, responses to peers on the 15th, and the assignment is also due on the 15th. We go to Unit 7. And you notice we're not changing anything in that learning objective table. We go to Unit 7, we drop the discussion again, drop the points to align to the discussion, drop the date so we make sure the Unit 7 starts on April 16th. The initial discussion then would be due on the 18th. Responses to peers would be due on the 22nd. That's always easy to figure out because that's the date the week ends. I'm making sure my points align and my date aligns. My date then would need to come there and change that date to the 22nd. Now we are at Unit 8, and you will see in Unit 8, the only item that's due then would be the discussion, which will be the reflective discussion. So remember that the semester ends on the 25th of April and grades are due on that date. So you always want to make sure that your reflection discussion is due by the 24th of which is a Tuesday of each term, so it gives you adequate time to grade that discussion response. And that's the learning activities table. You're not making any changes to the table here. Only ground campuses are allowed to make any changes to the grade summary table, so we can delete that comment. Nothing has to be done. Only ground campuses can remove the discussion row. Discussion applies only to online. We are online, so we're not removing that row. So we delete that comment. Now, obviously, had you deleted a row, then the total points would have changed. We didn't delete anything. So let's delete that comment since those points will remain at 1,000. And this is the end of the table. Now, I want to make sure, if you notice here, I have these centered, but this is left aligned. So let's go ahead and make everything uniform. And we're going to center that as well. So we want to make sure we have this clean document. I also want to make sure there aren't these big gaps. So I'm going to bring my table up a bit, if it would only move. So my table is up a bit. Let's give me a little space between them. You see the other tables are there, so we can bring those up as well to create that to remove that dead space. We can probably move this down so that it all stays on one page. And here you have your clean document. Remember, as you're preparing your syllabus, you enter your ACTS, live office hours, so that's clear. You enter the term dates, which is the actual date the term begins and ends. No changes are made here. If there is no optional textbook, then type the word none. If there are no additional resources, you go ahead and type the word none in this box as well. You enter the unit dates. The week begins on the Monday of each week and ends on the Sunday, so you enter your dates there. Please ensure that the discussion response, you have the date for the initial response and the date for the peer response, as well as the date for each assignment. Where there are 2 assignments, you have to just make sure that you have the date for each one. The Unit 8 week ends on the Tuesday of each term, so that date will be different to your semester date. Unit 8 will end on the Tuesday, which is the 24th in this case, and your Unit 8 discussion should be due no later than the Tuesday, which is the 24th in this particular instance. Please do not delete the row that says class location, just leave it blank. Now, there are some instances where when you upload your syllabus as a Word document, your tables will overlap. In order to avoid that problem, you want to save your syllabus as a PDF and upload the PDF to your classroom. You're good to go. Here's the complete syllabus. Take a look at it, review and see the areas we've completed, and have fun preparing your syllabus this semester. Have a wonderful time, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.